What's up? Alignment. Well, I'm not a huge fan of alignment, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Uh, like the standard alignment, the nine different alignments. It does cover a lot in a fantasy role-playing game. Um, you can cover a lot of philosophy and religious views with those nine alignments. I do find it a little restricting. Uh, And I think you're right about some classes. They're a little bit too restricted with as far as alignment. I don't believe the paladin is necessarily one of them, though. I think there should always be an anti-paladin. Uh, you know, I just love anti-paladins, I guess, or the idea of that. There was campaigns where I made up charts. I'm going to show you, and basically you would start a character off, like say if a character was pick an alignment, Chris.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic good. So you would take a pencil. That's a yellow pencil. I don't even know what pencil. No, pencil. You would take a pencil and you would X in chaotic and good. I don't know if you can see that. It's good up there, and then chaotic down there. Yeah. And so then, as the character made actions in the campaign that lean towards an alignment other than the one that they were at, you could alter their alignment slightly without totally changing their alignment completely. And it's basically a 3 strikes you're out type of deal. However, there's also it allows for you to be so chaotic that it would take a large number of lawful deeds in order to make you become neutral or lawful by getting further down on this scale. You can see. I also, I had a concept maybe with it one time that I was going to make a character's like base alignment. In other words, the alignment that he started with, and make that his base alignment, and make it harder for him to leave that alignment and easier to get back on this scale. But I never. I'm lazy. All right, there it is. But yeah, as Pathfinder says in this, some of its supplements, it's a soft rule, and the Star Wars RPG, they used dark side points, right? That's what it was, and you would as you gain dark side points, I think it was like according to your wisdom score. If you had more than half your total of dark side points, more than half your wisdom score, you went dark side, I think it was. And yeah, not a big fan of alignments. Chaotic neutral, though, I kind of disagree with you on chaotic neutral. They had this one campaign, the Alcagwin. It was a homebrew, and the Alcagwin itself was a living plane, and it was neutral, and it was a deity. It was the child of the 2 presiding gods over the prime material or material plane, whatever you want to call it. And they were opposed gods. They were lovers. Faz was a male paladin, good guy, and Malum was a female paladin, bad guy, and their child was the Urte, the plane. And the child became a plane because in the last campaign they were in, I linked the campaigns together. The last campaign they were in, it ended when they destroyed Mechanus, and I had that child being born at that moment, and then the child transferred to the prime material when the father escaped with it. And the father escaped with the baby when it was born on Mechanus and went to the prime material and mystically fused with the plane to make a living plane. Um, and in that case, good was seen as a zealot cause, kind of like the good religions were very zealous, and they were very restricting on their what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Behavior they expected from you, um, and uh, religion played a heavy role in the campaign. There's a very heavy evil and good dichotomy played out in it, and so the true path was neutral. And so, like in that world, a character feasibly and characters did. Um, they wanted to bring order into the Alcuin through any means necessary, and that could be chaotic neutral because the existing law orders were good and evil so extensively um, that the neutrals were pretty much pushed off and forgotten about in religion and a lot of other ways in that campaign. Um, so I think really alignment, of course, it's different to everybody. You know, nobody wants to think they're a bad guy. You know, so you kind of compare it to yourself, sure. Um, but I think it varies on campaign and the people you're playing with. You know, obviously. I don't think a player should ever be able to choose his alignment beyond creation. Um, I don't agree with that. Uh, I don't really care what alignment my player characters are. Uh, it doesn't really concern me as far as if they're villainous or heroic. However, we are playing right now, and we're playing evil characters, and I'm GMing, and we're playing a homebrew and partially of Galorian. Um, if you can see like the homebrew map and the Galorian map in the background. Um, and the Galorian map represents the Holy Lands. Uh, Basically, I didn't have the time to really write a campaign while we were playing, but the characters are low level. But so now they're in Galorian. Hey, but we're playing, so that's what matters. Not a whole lot of contingency there. Uh, but my one player here, Chris. Can I see the character? You can come in. You can come in if you want. Yeah, sure.
What's up?
This is Chris's character in this campaign.
He's got +3 weapons at 4th level.
Yes.
You paid for him, whatever. I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know if you can really. Anybody can really see it. Because I can't really see it. Anyway, he's an incubus, and we have a dread necromancer, an incubus. That paper in the camera was kind of a waste of time. What else?
Mind Flayer.
A mind flare, which is interesting in Glorian. What else? A
Warforged Barbarian.
Warforged barbarian, which is kind of a boring character in my opinion. But, and then there's a
Halfling Rogue.
yeah, he's not a halfling though. He's a Jarian. Jaren, yeah. He's a Jaren halfling rogue. Kind of atypical there, but evil rogue, whatever. Is that it?
Yeah.
And I cut stories to like in the kingdom of blah blah blah, people are gathered in common good for one another. People are compromising and sharing.
I hate that.
And it's the motivation for villainous characters are different, and not a lot of things right about it. Not a lot of things say, hey, I'm gonna write this thing and it's gonna be about how you become, Führer or whatever. Fucking, like there's not a lot of Julius Caesar fucking campaigns out there, or Nero.
I'm sure the game doesn't want to be
Yeah.
perceived as
Yeah.
promoting that. How to be
Exactly.
evil.
And they backed away from the evil gods too a lot, and there was backlash, and you're an old timer, so I'm sure you remember that, and the whole Gary Gygax came on 60 Minutes, and
Oh,
people were
yeah.
killing themselves in the 80s and
Pennsylvania.
whatnot. Yeah. So but that's my view on alignment. I in some games it's a necessary evil. I mean, no, sorry about the pun, but
I agree with your monk statement.
he agrees with your monk statement. He studied at the Shaolin Temple in New York, NYC. So, but yeah, man, keep posting them. I'm gonna go check some other out and respond to them.